I stood in that small room, heart racing. The little girl, maybe 9, maybe 10, was staring at me with eyes that held too much fear for someone her age. She whispered again, "He's in the basement." I nodded. "Okay, but first, what's your name?" She hesitated. "Lena." "All right, Lena. I'm Detective Zara. I'm here to help." She looked at me like she wasn't sure if help even existed anymore. And, to be honest, I wasn't sure either. Not in this case. I gently untied her wrists and ankles. Her skin had red marks from the ropes. She winced but stayed quiet. Brave kid. I handed her my phone. "Take this. Run outside. Call the police. Tell them where you are. Say Zara Khan sent me." "Got it." She nodded. I watched her run down the hallway until she disappeared. Then I turned to the trapdoor. The handle was old, rusty. I had to pull it hard to lift it. It groaned open like something out of a horror movie. Below, dark stairs. No light, just thick air that smelled like mold and wet concrete. I pulled out my flashlight. Deep breath. Then I climbed down, step by step, slow and quiet. I heard a faint humming. Low. Almost like someone singing to themselves. Then voices. 2 of them. I got to the bottom and found myself in a room that looked like it was built during World War II. Stone walls. Metal table. A single hanging bulb, swinging slightly. A sim was there. And another man. The one who'd held the necklace earlier. And behind them, Ryan. Still tied up. But awake now. Looking dazed. I hid behind a stack of boxes and listened. A sim said, "You really thought you could just marry her and forget everything?" Ryan groaned. "This isn't about her, a sim. You've gone mad." A sim slammed his fist on the table. "No. I've gone clear. You ruined everything. Our plan. Our business. My life." The other man, the one in a leather jacket, spoke. "Wrap it up. We're selling the necklace tonight. If you want revenge, do it quick." "Okay. Time to interrupt this drama." I stepped out from behind the boxes and said, "Wow, this is better than most Netflix thrillers." A sim spun around. "You again." I pointed at him with my flashlight. "Yup. And now you're done." He lunged at me. I ducked, grabbed a nearby chair, swung it into his knees. He collapsed. The other man pulled out a gun. I raised both hands. Okay, let's not be dramatic." He stepped forward, aiming. But then, bang. The wall behind him exploded in noise. Smoke. Sirens. Cops. Lena had done her part. Minutes later, a sim and his partner were in handcuffs. Ryan was untied, still shaking. Lena was safe, drinking juice in a cop's car. I stood outside the warehouse, feeling like I'd just run a marathon through a Bollywood movie and a Jason Bourne film at the same time. The police officer, a guy named Malik, patted me on the shoulder. "You always get the weird cases, don't you?" I smirked. "Only the fun ones." Ryan walked over. "Thank you. Zara, right?" "Yeah." He rubbed the back of his neck. I had no idea a sim held that kind of grudge. We had a falling out, sure. But this was something else. I nodded. Jealousy turns men into monsters. He glanced toward the cops loading a sim into the car. "What will happen to Lena?" I looked over at her. "She's going to be okay now. She's stronger than all of us." Back at my apartment, I collapsed onto the couch. Cold biryani still sat in the bowl from earlier. I took a bite. Still good. I was about to switch on my detective show again when my phone buzzed. Unknown number. I answered. Zara Khan speaking. A deep voice said, "Detective Khan, I heard you handled the vanishing groom case." "Depends." "Who's asking?" "My name is Colonel Faison. I need your help. A file has gone missing. One that could start a war." I paused. "Okay, Colonel. Where do we begin?" He replied, "In Moscow. First flight leaves at 5 a.m. I looked at my cold biryani, then at my suitcase, and I smiled. They say never take work calls during dinner. But when the call could save the world, you pack your bag and take the flight. Next stop, Moscow. Subscribe so you don't miss what happens in Detective Zara. the red file,